that government and make sure that mechanisms are in place.
Maimbestigahan muna kung may kinalaman yung mga employees.
Hindi ka na tatanggapin. Kung hindi ka nagsasampa ng kaso na yan, maliit lang yan. Bakit?
Magandang umaga po mga kaibigan. Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Karangalan po makasama kayo sa ating pag-uusap. Ang ating paksa ngayon ay yung bang overseas workers ay in demand pa rin. Marami pa bang mga bansa na naghahanap ng mga manggagawang Pilipino? Yung bang mga magdaragat natin ay tumutugon doon sa STCW requirements ng iba't ibang bansa. Pag-uusapan natin yan sapagkat kahit ano sabihin natin mga kaibigan, malaking bahagi ng remittances ang nagpapaangat at nagpapayabong ng ekonomiya ng bansa. Katatawag ko pa lang sa Bangko Sentral, ilalabas nila ngayong araw na ito ang report on total remittances for 2017 along with the figures kung ilang manggagawang Pilipino ang na-deploy for the year. So that will be this afternoon. But it's safe to say na 28 bilyong dolyar ang naipadalang salapi ng ating mga manggagawa na nasa iba't ibang bansa. Ito po ay sa likod ng mga naganap sa Kuwait na ngayon ay napakainit na paksa. Inanyahan po natin si Secretary Bebot Bello, kaya nga lamang he had to beg off because at 9 o'clock this morning, right after the flag raising ceremony, siya at ang senior officials ng Department of Labor ay pag-uusapan ang tungkol sa anong magaganap doon sa pangyayari sa Kuwait. But speaking for the Secretary of Labor is no other than the Deputy Administrator Aristodes Ruaro. Siya po yung nasa Licensing and Adjudication Department or Division ng Philippine Overseas Employment Administration. If I'm not mistaken, the Philippines is one of the countries na nagtatag ng opisina para sa pagpapalabas ng mga manggagawa at matiyak na hindi sila mabibiktima ng mga sindikato. Headline ng Philippine Star today ay pinag-utos ni Pangulong Duterte na dakpin ang lahat ng illegal recruiters. Ang sagot naman ng isang FM station ay kailangan pa bang i-memorize yan? Hindi ba yun talagang obligasyon ng gobyerno na dakpin ang illegal recruiters? We're joined by Mr. Hussein Macarambon. Siya po yung National Project Coordinator ng Fair Recruitment Project ng International Labor Organization. At kamakailan ay naglunsad ng libro tungkol sa fair recruitment, ang ILO, and it's a pleasure na yung article ko ay makasama roon. We're also joined by Atty. Dennis Gorecho mula sa Sapalo, Velez, Bundang, Bulilan Law Office. Isa po sa mga abogadong nagbabantay sa kalagayan ng mga magdaragat. And of course, we have the officer in charge of the Information Division ng MARINA, si Ginoong Rufino soon. So this will be a very good discussion as to ano ba lagay ng ating mga manggagawa. Let's start with the Deputy Administrator. Deputy Administrator Ruaro, meron pa po bang demand for Filipino workers abroad? Narito po ang mikropono.
Good morning, sir. Good morning sa lahat. Gandang umaga po. Yes, indeed, there's a great demand for our workers abroad. In view of the fact that our workers, our workforce, are competent, excellent, and they perform their best while on their jobs. So, I understand that ating mga bagong bayani, mga overseas Filipino workers are one of the best worldwide.
Okay.
In terms of efficiency and sincerity
Work
in performing
discipline.
their yes, sir.
Okay. Which countries are still requiring or requesting for workers?
Well, number one is the Middle East corridor. That would be like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Of course, yung nasa limelight ngayon, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Qatar, despite the fact that there's a rip of diplomatic relations between Qatar and the other Middle East countries. But there is also great demand on the Asian corridor,
Okay.
like Japan, New Zealand.
Oh,
Of course, Singapore has a big demand for care workers too, because of the aging
population.
population of Singapore, and the couples there in Singapore are working, and they would be interested to get like care workers for their children, for their old ones, and also in Korea there is a government-to-government demand for workers. So it's and even in Europe, like United Kingdom, there's because of the efficiency of our nurses, they are very interested
Okay.
to engage the services of our nurses.
Opo. Yung pong seafarers,
Seafarers, yes. Despite the competition with some other countries, but
like
still,
what countries?
like I think China and India, if I'm not mistaken. But because, as I said a while ago, because of the efficiency, competence, sincerity, in general, for the Filipino worker, they prepare our mga ating mga countrymen, kababayan.
At first glance, how many recruitment agencies do we have in the Philippines today?
On more or less, we have like 1,100
Agencies.
recruitment agencies. 800 of which are land-based. We call land-based those deploying our skilled and house service workers. And the manning agencies would be like 400.
Oh.
Those deploying our seafarers.
Do you have any idea as to the number of Filipinos they've deployed over the years?
Just like last year, I think we've deployed new hires. New hires, we mean those newly engaged.
First time to go abroad?
Yeah, first time po. Above 500,000. And then those going back, we call it in English, workers on leave. Pero tawag natin mga balik manggagawa, it's like 800,000.
800,000?
Yes po.
Okay. So, malaki po talaga pala ang bilang ng ating mga manggagawang lumalabas, ano? And have you seen an upward or downward trend over the years?
I think it's consistent, but now I think it depends on, because even China is interested, exploring the idea of getting also our teachers, and especially teachers in English, because I think they want to study English
Really?
also in China. Yeah.
And Filipinos want to study Mandarin as well, no?
Yeah, that's right. It's a quid pro quo thing. Yeah, reciprocity maybe.
There is that reciprocity.
In China, imagine China is a big country. On the record, its population is 1.3 or 1.2 billion, but maybe more than that. It's like 1.5 billion. And just imagine, even only 5% of that gets to be 1% of 1 billion.
And that's okay. It's significant.
As long, but of course, before we start deploying there, maybe what is foremost and important is there should be a memorandum of understanding to guarantee that the welfare and protection of the rights of our workers are secured, respected,
Yes, Attorney.
and recognized.
Would you have any working relationships with the Department of Foreign Affairs? By the way, we invited the Department of Foreign Affairs, especially UMWA, but it appears that they're very busy.
We coordinate closely with the Department of Foreign Affairs. As you said, OMWA, the Office for the Undersecretary for Migrant Workers Affairs.
Yes.
Now presently headed by Undersecretary Ariola.
Yes.
Because they are
Former Chief of Staff of Secretary Cayetano.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It was before Undersecretary, I think, Jess Yabes.
Yes.
But now, we closely coordinate with OMWA because there are cases, situations that yung mga kababayan natin sa abroad, when they get into like cases, especially when they need lawyers,
Yes.
the OMWA, through their assistance to national unit,
Okay.
comes into the picture to provide assistance, especially legal assistance,
Okay.
lawyers.
Yes, Attorney. On that line, would you be able to monitor the government-to-government agreements forged by the Philippines to further protect our migrant workers?
Yes, we keep on pushing memorandum of understanding with receiving or host countries.
And there are agreements in existence today.
Yes, yes, in existence, but not,
Not
but not all.
all
Like,
countries.
like in Kuwait, I understand there has been before I got into POEA, there was already a submitted draft of the proposed memorandum of understanding with Kuwait, but and hopefully they get to recognize that the welfare and protection of our workers
Okay.
has to be secured.
Is it true
Black
that
and white.
is it true that we have about 250,000 Filipinos in Kuwait?
250 to 260, more or less, yes.
And these are the legitimate ones.
Legitimate ones. And 70% of that are yung ating mga the more vulnerable sector of work.
Yeah.
Sa ating
Household
mga,
managers.
house service workers.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's just the beginning, mga kaibigan. Simula pa lang yan. Sa ILO, you are with the fair recruitment project, Hussein. Is there really such a thing as fair recruitment?
Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Base po sa inyong tanong, meron pong there exists a very few number of fair recruiters in the Philippines. So using that as an indicator, I would think na fair recruitment does exist, no? And by definition, to the ILO, we have attempted to define what fair and ethical, if I may, recruitment is. At in short, it really boils down to how much empowered the worker is, no, when he or she is applying for a job abroad. At isa sa indicator na ito ay yung recruitment fees, no? Kung magkano yung nababayad ng isang worker para mag-apply ng trabaho sa abroad. Kasi kung iisipin niyo po, yung isang worker dito sa Pilipinas, kung nag-a-apply ako ng trabaho at nagbabayad ako para mag-apply ng trabaho, parang hindi natin lubos maisip na nangyayari yon. Kasi ako mismo, nung nag-apply ako sa ILO Manila, hindi ako nagbayad ng pera para matanggap sa trabaho. So iniisip ng ILO, bakit hindi yon nangyayari pag yung application ay sa overseas, no? So yun yung gustong i-promote ng ILO na zero recruitment fees. Isa ito sa basihan upang masabi natin na isa itong fair recruitment. Kasi yung employers naman po sa ibang bansa ay willing naman magbayad. Sila yung nagbabayad sa marami sa proseso ng deployment, no?
Okay. Pero that can easily be explained there. I know of people who wanted to serve government but they bought votes para ma-elect. So ito, ganun din. Gusto mo magtrabaho sa abroad, magbabayad ka ng fees. Hindi kaya yun yung paghambing?
Actually, malaki po yung debate. There's a big debate about this, no? So how much fees should be charged to the worker? So, syempre, there are so many schools of thought na, for example, yung personal documentation, like my passport. Now, if I'm gonna use it outside of the required travel to my employer in the country of destination, if I'm going to use it for personal reasons, then tama naman na ako yung mag-shoulder ng cost ng
Okay.
passport ko. So the debate is still ongoing, no? But the ILO, as the specialized UN agency, is mandated to define what these costs are. So we're looking at recruitment fees, yung directly related to the job application from the recruitment process to the deployment to the actual employment. Ito yung recruitment related fees. But yung related cost naman, for example, yung training, kasi debate rin ito, no? Kung yung aking training or yung aking education, dapat ako yung magbayad or dapat yung employer yung magbabayad. So, malawak na diskusyon ang
Okay.
kinakailangan dito.
Okay. Pero there could also be a situation wherein walang ang recruitment fees na binabayaran, pero pagdating dun sa bansang patutunguhan, nagkakaroon ng contract substitution to the detriment of the workers. Would ILO be in a position to monitor the plight of these workers?
Well, ILO does not have the mandate to actually monitor compliance. No, it's actually the member states of the ILO. So we make sure that our ILO conventions are able to equip our member states to monitor the compliance of you
Okay. How many countries in the Middle East are with the ILO? Ilan yung mga kasama ron sa ILO?
Makikita po natin ito sa website ng ILO, but offhand, I would think na halos lahat, if not all, of the Gulf states are members of the ILO.
Really? So there's a very bright chance that these countries would recognize international labor standards.
Yes, sir. Actually, as a matter of fact, a number of Gulf states have ratified some of the core conventions of the ILO. Of course, I would not be able to spell them out.
Of course,
today,
of course. That will be another session. Okay. Sa kalagayan po ng ating seafarers, Mrs. Sun, how are they, especially with most countries na kumukuha sa ating magdaragat ay members ng European Union? How are they?
Good morning po sa lahat. Before that, let me read sa press release ng EMSA, if you may allow me, sir.
Paki-capsulize na po. Ano po ba sinasabi?
Dito po sa EMSA natin, based sa findings on March 13 to 23, nagkaroon po na ng inspection ng European Union. Nakalagay po dito na the Philippines as included was given the following dates to submit. By 30 April 2018, measures which have been put in place or intended to be put in place corresponding to the areas to be improved. And by 31 October 2018, evidence of implementations of such measures. And by 31 October 2019, evidence that supporting information technology system has been developed. So in order to address the EC requirements, MARINA has undertaken the following initiative and actions. One is dissemination of the contents of the EC report to the stakeholders concerned. Two is the creation of a task group which has started working for the measures being requested by European Commissions. And three, coordination meetings with MARINA's ECW Advisory Council and agencies concerned. The MARINA, on behalf of the Department of Transportation, wishes to inform and assure the country's maritime industry stakeholders that this matter is being dealt with seriously. All efforts and actions needed are being undertaken, and we are confident to highly satisfy and fully address the contents identified and submit requirements of the EC on the dates specified. So, rest assured, sir, ang nasabi po dito, safe po ang mga seafarers natin. Kailangan ng MARINA na gawin lang yung hiningi ng European Commissions.
Yung po bang mga hinihingi ay, sabi nga ni FBR nung araw, doable?
Yes po.
Very briefly, ano-ano yung hinihingi?
Ang hini po dito po sa nakalagay po sa IMSA report, tick report po yun, sir. Wala po akong copy, pero rest assured po, in-address po ito ngayon ng mga different concerned division po natin sa MARINA.
Kaya natin yan, ha?
Kaya po natin, sir.
Okay. Dennis, ano concern mo ron?
Hindi, in briefer lang kasi, yung sa mga hindi pa na. The EMSA is European Maritime ano yun? Safety Audit. And it concerns yung mga Filipinos natin on board yung mga vessels na European flags. And medyo ilang years kasi kinakalampag ang ating industry kasi marami daw ang ating mga seafarers ay below substandard.
Below sub-standard.
Parang ganun na inaano nila.
Ano yan? Grabe.
Kaya nga naging issue kasi dyan na yung incompetency ng ating mga seafarers. And dahil sa repercussion na yon, yung nasa whitelist tayo ng, ano yung whitelist, di ba? Parang nasa listahan tayo ng warning, ng warning ng European Union on the quality of seafarers natin. And after that, parang naglabas ng EO or something like that na nilipat sa Marina yung monitoring ng STCW. Yung STCW is safe standard training, certification, and watchkeeping.
And watchkeeping.
Tapos after nyan, nilipat sa Marina, siya na nag-i-implement ngayon on monitoring. And ang naging repercussion nga is nag-implement sila ng iba-ibang view. So, ang naging ano siya, medyo naging stricto siya kasi nadamay pati diyan yung mga quality ng schools. If you can remember, parang last September yata, when we brought the schools here.
Yes.
Dahil ang education dyan ay nag-start sa school, so isa sa kinalampag dyan ay yung mga eskwelahan na out of the 90 plus noon, they said na konti lang yung pumapasa talaga na magiging qualified seafarer. So during that time, at the early years of na nilipat sa Marina, they classified the schools into Group A and Group B. Yung Group A, ito yung mga pwede mag-produce ng officers. Group B, yung hanggang ratings lang.
So,
I'm not sure if they're still implementing the same. Kasi the last time, ang ginawa nila, may mga eskwelahan silang pinasara, tapos may mga nag-file ng appeal para wag masara. And I'm not sure kasi if they're still implementing that classification right now yung Marina. Siguro, pag chinek uli yung files nila, tingnan natin kung ano report. Kasi ang kailang end goal kasi noon, yung mga papasok sa industry ay qualified na agad. Or kung gusto mo pa maging seafarers, alam mo na kung hanggang saan ka.
Okay.
Kunyari, Class A. Yan, pwede silang umangat through, para maging officials, through exams or through promotions. Pag Class B ka na, hanggang dyan ka lang. Ang pagkakaalam ko kasi, if you want to be an officer, you have to transfer to the school na pwede kang official. I'm not sure kasi if they still have the same classification right now, but that was one of their means para ma-address yung issue ng quality ng students na pumapasok sa industry. Kasi every year, ang pumapasok dyan, on the average yan, siguro mga, kasi kung halimbawa, 90 schools yan, on the average, 500 ang pinapasa niyan, ang lumalabas. So almost 45,000 on the average ang pumapasok na new players. Ang last year, ang the average na lumalabas, registered natin na seafarers ay mga 350,000 lang yan.
So saan na pupunta yung iba?
Yun nga, ang question dyan. So pagpasok nito mga bagong dugo na to, yung mga nasa taas, na medyo hindi umabot sa officials, nandun yung risk na sila ay matatanggal doon sa numbers na deploy. Hindi pa kasama kasi dyan yung mga tinatawag nating backdoor seafarers.
May backdoor seafarers?
Meron yan. Lalabas ng Philippines as turista, tapos i-hire ng mga barko sa labas. Actually, it's the same way. Sa land-based din eh. Yun yung mga tinatawag na undocumented. And ang problema kasi ng mga undocumented na yan, hindi mo mamamonitor sila unless they report to the embassy. Pag may nangyari, for example, may mga hinandle kami, lumabas ng Philippines, ang contract hindi POA. Kasi yun ang advantage kapag may POA contract eh. You can be monitored and the benefits given by law may enforce under Philippine law. Kapag ikaw lumabas na direct hiring, parang kasi recently naglabas ang POA na bawal na direct hiring eh. I'm not sure kung ano, pero parang they issued a memorandum or circular na bawal lang ang direct. Kasi dati pwede ka mag-direct hiring basta nandun ka sa listahan nung kanilang name hire list. Pag hindi, kailangan dumaan ka sa POA. And ang advantage na kasi ng POA nga, unlike ang sea-base, unlike ang difference ng sea-base and land-base, ang sea-base kasi meron na siyang tinatawag na standard terms and conditions. Na kapag pinirmahan mo yan, you are protected pag ikaw ay nagkasakit, na aksidente, namatay. Kaya nga yung tinatawag nating mga illegal recruitment kasi yung sinasabi ni Sir kanina, yung substitution of contracts, it happens. Na lalabas sila POA contract, pagdating doon, merong ibibigay na tatawag na second contract, addendum, or supplemental. Amendment, ganyan. And kung ito ay bababa, dun sa binibigay ng POA Standard Employment Contract, for example, ang salary niya ay $5,000, nangyayari na minsan, pagdating sa barko, ibibigay sa kanya 2,500 lang. And that becomes violation na substitution. Okay lang kasi kung magkaroon ng substitution if it gives you better terms. But if it becomes prejudicial to our seafarers or kahit na land-based din, hindi, may ano yan, may repercussion yan. Pagbalik sa Philippines, dahil meron tayong tinatawag na joint ng solidarity liability ng principal and the manning agency, you can run after the manning agency. Unlike kasi kung direct hire ka, kung magkaroon kayo ng discrepancy dun sa inyong salary, hindi mo siya may enforce under Philippine law.
Very well. Deputy Administrator, would you have any idea as to the number of complaints received by your office as against those resolved in favor of our workers? And what are the nature of these complaints?
With respect to yung sinasabi, sir, minsan yung substitution of contracts, those are also examples of violation, which is prohibited by our rules. They can be subjected to suspension and or cancellation. Other violations that may be pressed by the worker is overcharging of
Fees.
placement fees.
Placement fees.
Because,
Okay. Overcharging.
and with respect to what Sir was saying a while ago, yeah, maganda nga sana kung wala ng placement fee to be charged by skilled, kasi skilled workers lang yung may equivalent to 1 month salary is allowed to be charged against the worker
Okay.
as placement fee. Pero there are countries, of course, the ating mga service workers, no placement fee is allowed. If you charge a placement fee, you can be subjected to cancellation, yung license.
Marami
agency.
na po ba nakansela o nasuspinde sa nakalipas na taon?
Marami na po, marami.
You have any idea as to how many they are?
Well, I think more than 100.
More than 100?
Yes, yes.
From
more
over
than
1,000?
100, so 200.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
But minsan nag-appeal din.
Nag-a-appeal.
But that is immediately executory by POA, but sometimes they have first part of due process is for them to appeal also with the Department of Labor.
Okay.
Now,
Yung batting average po ng inyong mga decision na na-overturn ng Department of Labor, you have any idea? Very slim.
not yet now because
Kokonti, ano?
I'm just new. Yes, yes. Karamihan no, nasusustain yung decision ng POA.
Yun ang interest ko. Dahil lang sa kung na-overturn, baka...
Hindi
meron-
naman, no, hindi naman. no,
okay.
hindi naman. Tapos, with respect, I would like to go back to the charging of placement fees. We are also interested towards that direction because there are already countries that do not allow the charging of placement fees, like the United States of America, Canada, United Kingdom, Japan, I think Ireland. So why cannot be done with other countries, receiving countries, And then dapat charge na lang ho by the employer. Kung may services na sinisingil yung licensed recruitment agencies, dapat usapan na nila yon in between the employer sa host country and
The agency.
their agent here na tinatawag natin na Philippine Recruitment Agencies.
So-
Pwede naman mag-charge na ganun eh.
So, posible po pala na yung recruitment agencies lagaring hapon? Kumikita na sa manggagawang nag-a-apply? Kumikita pa rin sa kapartner sa ibang bansa?
Because it is allowed yung placement fee, yung 1 month, equivalent to 1 month salary, yung skilled.
Aha. Okay.
Because siguro, depende nga is a contract between two parties o yan. Pero of course, for the government, it is most ideal na wala nang placement fee.
Okay.
Eventually, we are geared toward that direction also. Because there are countries, as I say, that do not allow the charging of placement fees.
Yes.
Like
If,
Canada.
if it is not classified, where do you get your funds? From the GAA?
Yes,
General
sir,
appropriation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You don't get your operational expenses from yung mga china-charge nyo sa mga manggagawa?
The fines and fees that
Yes.
are being collected by POEA is directly remitted to
The
Bureau
National
of Treasury.
Treasury.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the assurance. Yes.
Thank you.
Clarification lang, kasi when it comes to the sea-based sector kasi, they have a different hindi pwede magbayad ng placement fee ang seafarers, hindi pwede magbayad ng medical, hindi pwede magbayad ng transportation. Those are shouldered by the principal. And kapag pag pinag-charge mo, nandun ka na agad sa listahan, pwedeng maging listahan ka ng pwedeng ma-revoke ang iyong lisensya ng manning agency. Because under the law, pwede mag-fall yan under illegal recruitment or violation ng rules and regulations ng POEA. Ang nagiging problema lang kasi dahil sa yung reality ng demand and supply ng ating seafarers na ang dami-daming nasa labas, pero konti yung naililista. Yung iba, I think we have to describe it yung kapit sa patalim na naglalabas na siya ng pera, yung panglalangis, in the guise of, magbabayad sila. And yun ang medyo mahirap i-locate kasi nga hindi yan naglalabas ng resibo. Pero under the law naman kasi, even if you don't have a resibo, you can be convicted for illegal recruitment. Ang isa pa kasi illegal recruitment na hinahabol namin madalas ay yung withholding of travel documents ng mga seafarers natin.
Isang bagay yun.
Yung Seaman's, yung SIRB, Seafarers Identification Registration Book, yung ating passport. Kapag hinawakan nila yan, tas in the guise na, ibalik mo muna sa akin ginastos ko dun sa medical. Usually, nangyayari kasi yun kapag hindi natuloy yung deployment. Under PO rules kasi, kailangan within 60 days from the time na tinatakan ng POA, yung contract nila between the principal and the seafarer, tas nandun yung manning, within 60 days, kailangan makaalis si seafarer. Kapag hindi nakaalis yan, meron silang parang grace period na 1 month to tinatawag ng pang revalidation. Isasabit uli yung kontrata sa POA para magkaroon uli ng parang 2-month period ma-deploy ka. So kapag hindi ka na-deploy, usually ang nagiging problema ng mga seafarers ay hindi sila makaalis kasi hawak ng kanilang manning agency yung mga travel documents. And ang normally complaint ang sinasabi sa akin, pinapa-reimburse yung medical. Marami na kami sinulatan na because under the migrant law, it specifically states withholding of travel documents for monetary reasons other than the authorized ones is considered as illegal recruitment.
Okay. Very well. We'd like to open the floor to our colleagues from the media who may have questions. We'd like to recognize our colleagues. Randy Orlando is here from a new magazine on maritime. Willard Cheng of ABS is also with us. Okay, you have questions?
Tapatan. Ako na muna.
Sige.
Tracy Cabero.
According to seniority. Okay.
Ganito. Naniniwala naman ako lahat ng policies ng government concerning our seamen are tama naman yung they're in place. Nga lang may mga hindi sumusunod. But I'm more concerned on the small issues of problems of seamen. Kasi marami akong kaibigan na mga seaman na ang dami nilang problema yan tungkol sa medical, sa training. I have a friend who just arrived. Ang problema niya, maraming mga training na hindi naman kailangan angkop dun sa trabaho niya na ini-impose ng MARINA. Di ba yung mayroong mga training yan na if you want to be, yung pa sa lisensya nila, di ba? Tapos secondly, one time, nandito yung isang opisyal ng MARINA. Sabi ko sa kanya, maraming mga unscrupulous groups and individuals na niloloko yung mga seaman tungkol sa medical, sa mga pag-apply nila sa mga kumpanya. Ang sagot sa akin ng MARINA din was, wala namang complainant Pero sometimes, kailangan ang gobyerno would initiate the step to stop this unsavory doings. Gaya nung sa Kuwait, di ba, yung parang, bakit hindi sila magpadala ng tao? Kasi I'm sure, maraming mga recruitment agency na nagpapadala sa Kuwait even if it's banned. Ang ginagawa,
Okay, the question is,
ang
ginagawa
question ko
ng
is,
Marina?
why doesn't government initiate yung parang pala, yung pupunta ka doon para malaman mo kung may ginagawang mali. Kasi hindi na kailangan dapat maghintay ang gobyerno ng complainant.
Okay. Would you care to answer?
Sir, good morning. Thank you for that question. Tama namang sinabi mo, sir. May mga manning agency na nag-require ng training na hindi man kailangan ng seafarers. Kaya lang, sir, kami sa Marina po, may mandate po kami sa STCW conventions. Na yung mga seafarer na pababa, saka gustong sumampa, may training po sa requirements na kailangan nilang i-attend. Yung tungkol po sa pag-monitor ng mga manning agency na nag-request nito, siguro sir, I will suggest na meron sanang joint government effort tungkol dito. Kasi hindi lang ang Marina affected dito. Meron din kami mga natanggap na mga fake certificates na ginagawa ng illegal recruiters. Kaya nga sir, tinutulungan namin yung mga seaman na sana po ay, naroon naman po sa website namin, saka sa Facebook, na nilagay namin na kayo po ay sumunod sa proseso. Huwag po kayong maging biktima ng katulad ng Imagyan na nasama sa mga illegal recruitment. Kasi yung sa tingin po namin sir, in my own opinion po, yung iba kasi mga seaman natin dyan, gustong sumampa uli kasi may mga utang na sila. May mga utang na silang probinsya, kailangan lang sumakay agad. Kaya yung iba, nagmamadali.
Okay.
Sa pagmadali po na, sir, doon po sa nabibigay ng nabiktima sa ng mga illegal recruiter. Ang sa amin lang, sir, sana po pumunta mula sa office namin para po namin sa matulungan.
Hindi, saka ma-identify kung ano mga specific trainings na kailangan.
Yes po, sir. Yun po ang ano namin.
All right. Pero yung substitution ng mga peke, some years ago, I was in Italy, sabi nila, dati, meron mga nurses dito na may diploma lang at may papel, may transcript, at may lisensya mula sa Pilipinas, pinagtatrabaho na as nurses. Nasira lang ng isang may kalungkutang Pilipina, nagpagawa sa Claro M. Recto. Pagdating doon, dinala kaagad sa OR. Natulala yung babae. So, doon na bisto na peke yung papel. What has POEA got to do with this? Meron ba kayong paraan para ma-check yung mga dokumentong ito?
Yes, with the certifications. Kagaya ho ng, halimbawa, dun sa certificate for house service workers ang nag-i-issue dyan, TESDA.
May mga peke rin pong sertipiko ng TESDA.
TESDA and OWA, halimbawa, ay hindi natin sometimes ang namemeke yung worker. Ang namemeke naman with the connivance with the agency. But for us to double check, we check on the records kung may na-issue silang certificate. Eh pag wala, for sure it's fake. Tapos
So,
yung
do you sue them?
Yes, yes.
Dinidemanda nyo sila?
Yes, both.
Okay.
Tapos ganito po yun, yung naman sa mga credentials, like nurses, that is under the helm of PRC, I mean.
Merong red ribbon pa yan sa DFA.
PRC ho dapat yun, yung I think Professional Regulatory Commission. They issue the
And these documents should be authenticated with red ribbon, right?
Red ribbon naman, no, dun sa ano yan, sa DFA.
DFA. Okay.
Opo.
Thank you. Hussein.
Babalikan ko lang po yung sinabi ni Melo kanina about the media training program of the ILO kasi importante para sa ILO yung role ng media para maliwanagan yung mga tao sa mga issue ng labor migration. And truth be told, labor migration is a really complex issue, no? Melo just mentioned earlier yung remittances at yung deployment as the key data indicators that the people need in order for us to gauge how much how much the contribution of migration to our national development is. Pero po, the fact na yung table is represented by a number of sectors. Ako kasi, my project is really working on domestic workers sector, which is land-based. Tapos we have seafarers. I'm not saying na hindi comparable yung issues, pero minsan kasi mahirap siyang ipagsama kasi complex nga yung issue, no? For example, yung data access. Sa akin, sa land base, madali ko siyang makita kasi if I look for the definition of a migrant worker, I can find data from the origin, kunwari yung saan siya nanggaling, nakatira, tapos saan yung destination niya. For seafarers, medyo mahirap siya, no? Kasi nasa dagat sila. Tapos kahit sa international agencies, nahihirapan pa rin kaming i-define or ipaghalo yung mga issues ng land-based tsaka seafarers, no? Tapos that's just one issue, no? Yung sa data. Another issue is yung sa direct hiring. Sinasabi kanina na medyo pinagbawal siya. Pero ang point naman ng ILO is direct hiring is actually an empowerment to a worker. The fact na I'm already able to go abroad and find work for myself, isn't that a form of empowerment? So may mga ganong issue na kung hahanapan natin ng solusyon, dapat nating i-problematize. Pero mahirap nga siya if ipagsasama-sama natin yung for example, yung contract substitution ng isang seafarer sa isang nurse sa Italy. So minsan, kailangan nating mag-focus muna sa isang maliit na problema at saka natin i-apply sa framework. Kasi I don't envy the position of Attorney Ruaro representing POEA. Mahirap talaga yung issue ng labor migration.
Yeah.
Yung tanong kasi basically, because I've been handling for the last 15 years, yung mga different issues, basically liman lang naman yan eh. Illegal dismissal, illegal recruitment, non-payment, underpayment of salaries and wages, yung disability benefits, kung magkasakit or maaksidente, and death benefits. Tapos, meron ding mga sumisingit yung mga admin complaints. So, yung admin complaints, depende kung saan mo ipa-file yan. If ang bibirahin mo ay yung lisensya nila, pwedeng sa POA, para hindi mabigyan ng kontrata. Or yung mga, sa PRs, kasi ngayon nasa Marina na eh. Marina, bibirahin mo yung lisensya ng kapitan, ng mga officials, ganyan. So, depende kung ano yung cause of action na i-raise mo. Sa regular court, yung mga illegal recruitment, yung mga criminal complaints. So dyan, kaya nga maraming nangyayari sa mga seafarers. Based on my experience, maraming violations, but marami ang tahimik. Money claim, LRC. Maraming tumatahimik lang because of the fact na nandyan yung threat ng blacklisting. Na kapag nagreklamo ka, nandyan yung hindi kita i-hire. And that's the role of the yung empowerment sa kanila na you have to inform me of the rights, and that's what I do. I go around, I give lectures na ito yung rights and obligation under the law, under the contract, under the existing legal paradigm ng Philippines natin. But it's up to you if you want to enforce it. Ang based on my experience, marami nagreklamo sa akin pero they don't go to the street na kalabanin yung kanilang mga manning agents because of the David and Goliath situation. Meaning,
Pag nagprotesta ka,
blacklisted ka. And that's reality. Kaya nga, marami talagang workers natin, pagdating sa ganyan, medyo, andyan na yung batas eh. Andyan na yung batas, andyan yung kontrata. But when they go, nandyan yung mentalidad
na delikado.
Threat sa'yo.
Okay.
Hindi kita hire.
Paano yan? Will it make any difference if the ship is registered in the Philippines or elsewhere? Because there's the issue about flags of convenience.
Yan ay factor lang if usually criminal complaint. But if you look into the enforcement of the contract, that's where the POEA contract will come in. Kapag POEA contract kasi, based on contract law, the place where it is executed. So kaya nga pinipilit ng ating government mag-POEA contract ka para kapag meron kang problema, you can enforce the POEA contract under Philippine law. Kaya lang, meron kasi naging before na naging critique na the POEA contract limited the benefits of the Filipino seafarers. Kasi if you file the complaint abroad, mas malaki ang nakukuha ng mga yan. But they have the clause kasi yung tinatawag na jurisdictional venue clause na lahat, ipa-file mo sa Philippines, nilimited ka kung ano yung mo. Kunyari, na-aksidente ka. Before, kaya mo i-file sa labas yan. You can head millions of dollars. Ngayon, $50,000 yung maximum pag-death, pag-accident, or $60,000 under POA. Depende yan kung meron ka pang collective bargaining agreement. So ganyan yan. Kaya nga, when you go into the legality of the practice of the migrants, totoo sinasabi niya, medyo may dichotomy ang land-based and sea-based. Ang sea-based kasi medyo nakakahon yan eh. Kasi ako, we tried to handle land-based, nahirapan kami. Kasi nga, yung rights and obligations nila, hindi kasing defined ng sea-based. Ang sea-based kasi meron tinatawag na standard terms and conditions. When you go out of the Philippines, yung vessel na yan, covered yan ng insurance. Yung PNI Club, yung Protection Indemnity Club. So, whatever happens to the seafarers sa ating migrants, kasi under the migrant law kasi, ang seafarers, na-broaden yung definition niya kung sino ang migrants dyan. Ang migrants dyan, kasi dati ang seafarers ayaw na consider as migrant yan eh, kasi nga bumabalik siya. Pero under the migrant law noong 2010, consider niya sino-sinong seafarers. Yung may mga lisensya, yung mga technical seafarers natin, yung mga schools, yung mga officials ganyan. Tapos nandyan din ang fishermen, nandyan din yung mga cruise liners natin.
Yung mga HRM graduates sa cruise
Na
ship.
sumasakay sa cruise ship, yan. Considered na rin sila as seafarers and migrants. Tapos nandyan na rin yung mga oil rig workers natin, yung seafarers, pero dapat mobile. So kung stationary yun, yung nakatusok lang doon, hindi nila kinoconsider pa rin as, as seafarers. So sabi ko, anong tawag mo dyan? Hindi sea-based. So kung dalawa lang naman yan, sea-based and land-based, napupunta sa land-based.
Ganun. Okay. Grabe issue pala rito. No? Yes, please.
Yeah, Ronnie from DCRJ, kay Atty. Ruaro. Sir, napag-uusapan, in my knowledge, no, dalawa kasi ang license sa POA. Tama yung sinasabi ni attorney. Mayroon po tayong license for seafarer, at tapos yung mga partisano, mayroon din tayong license for land-based. Yung land-based, nandyan yung Middle East, yung Kuwait, yung Taiwan, all kinds of different countries na nando doon. Tanong ko lang, aware ho ba ang POA sa problema po sa ating mga workers about the market reality? Just only for yes or no.
Market reality.
Market reality for different countries. Ang POA. Kasi ito yung madalas na tinatanong namin sa mga asosasyon ng recruitment agency for the land base.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much. When you say market reality, may you clarify ano bang ibig sabihin?
Market reality, like for example, Taiwan. Ang Taiwan kasi ang market reality na sinasabi ng PhilMat, ng Asosasyon ng mga Recruitment Agency, bound for Taiwan. Ang market reality doon, sinisingil na ng doble-doble ang ating mga workers, katulad na sinasabi kanina ni Sir. Problema, nagdadaan sa lending, salary deduction, for broker's fee, walang binabayaran ang employers, lahat gastos ng workers. Sinasabi dati ni attorney ng panahon ni Kakdak, na ang Taiwan, bawal singilin, lalo na kung executive collection, sobra-sobra yung placement fee. Sa Kuwait, maraming nagsasabi, kaya naabuso ang ating mga workers sa mga housemaid workers, dahil ang market reality doon, gastos lahat ng employer, walang binabayaran ang workers, especially for domestic helper. Sa seafarer, tama yung sinasabi ka na ni attorney, na ang lahat ng seafarer, wala rin hong binabayaran kasi shoulder po ng mga employers.
Okay.
Ang tanong ko lang po doon kung aware po ang POE about the market reality.
Yung iba't ibang sitwasyon sa iba't ibang bansa.
Opo.
Yung tanong niyo po regarding market reality, meaning yung violations regarding the charging of fees.
Yeah.
If there is a violation, we welcome the filing of charges sa POA po para we can impose the corresponding sanction like suspension or cancellation of their license so that they can no longer go into that activity. Bawal ho yun eh. And we have our legal assistance division to provide assistance to all complainants.
Okay.
And pagdating ho sa Kuwait, kung ganun ho yun na they are deploying house service workers and they impose placement fees, bawal ho yun. And we encourage workers to come to our office, to our legal assistance division. We provide them lawyers, assist them so that the necessary complaint be instituted, be pursued against these violators. Kaya nga tayo, mayroong mga rules and regulations regarding the parameters of how manning agency or how a land-based agency should
Conduct their business.
recruit and deploy our workers abroad. And even, kasama ho nga yan sa pagmamonitor, even if they have already deployed our workers abroad. It is the responsibility to monitor
Okay.
the conditions. Kasama ho yun sa rules natin. So now, ang dami naman ho nagpapalang complaint, but the more we still encourage, kung meron na yung mga yan na nag-violate ng rules, we encourage those
Okay.
to file their complaints in our office, and we will be ready.
Aha.
We'll be very happy to give them all the assistance
Deputy,
para
Administrator.
ma-regulate po itong mga nag-aabuso mga agencies.
Yeah, Deputy
Manning
Administrator.
or land-based as well.
I know of 2 cases of domestic helpers who were abused sexually by their employers. One of them comes from Manila, the other comes from Mindanao. Yung taga Mindanao, because of the due process, opted to go home to Mindanao. At kalimutan na lang yun nangyari sa kanya. Yung isa naman, merong problema, kailangan ng psychiatric assistance, no? Professional help. Meron bang programa yung POEA to establish a halfway house for people similarly situated? Because whether we like it or not, they contributed to the economy. And they are citizens of the Philippines. Would you have that in mind?
Maraming salamat po sa tanong niyo yan. With the organizational setup in the deployment, recruitment, migration of overseas Filipino workers, doon sa recruitment, sa rules on recruitment and deployment, POEA po yan. Hanggang sa pag-monitor ng status nila doon. But eventually, OWA na ho yung welfare, repatriation, and yung tinatanong nyo na halfway house.
O dahil yung
Because they are
tumila sa
paying.
halfway house kasi yung isa, sabi nung taga-OWA, hanggang ilang araw ka lang.
And
Marami pa nakapila.
And that's the very spirit and intent of requiring them to be OWA members paying $25 before they are deployed.
So that's for every trip they have, they should pay $25.
No, every 2 years po yun. Pero pag new hire ka, before you are given OEC, you have to pay the $25 as membership fee sa OWA.
But I understand,
Kaya naipon na
seafarers,
yung malaki naman ng pera ng OWA, I think it has reached in billions already. So those kinds of benefits should be provided. Kaya dapat to, imbitahin nyo rin minsan yung mga tiga-OWA dito. Para
sige po, we will do that. We will do
may
that.
suggest. Opo.
Dahil ganito kasi, katulad ng seafarers and land-based workers, sa report ng Bangko Sentral, yung kinikita ng mga workers with less than 1 year contract at yung 1 year and above, iba yung kita nila eh. So, for every time na aalis yun, dahil kung walang 1 year yung contract niya, bayad siya ng $25? Ganun nga po ba yun? Dennis, what would you know?
Kasi parang may difference yung first labas dun sa renewal. Parang mas POA siguro
I
yun.
think, what I understand now with the seafarers, wala na hong balik manggagawa dyan. So, finish contract ka lagi.
I-finish contract siya parang
So,
every time labas
New hire ka
sila.
ng new hire.
Ah,
Under the rule, new hire, you have to pay your membership fee.
Alright.
Hindi kagaya dito sa ating mga land-based workers. Babakasyon lang, workers on leave, balik manggagawa.
Okay.
Opo.
So
But
that
every 2
explains.
years, you have to,
Okay. Yeah.
upgrade.
Hussein, sa pagsusuri ng ILO, tayo lang may setup na POEA sa OWA sa iba't ibang bansa?
Hindi naman po.
Merong iba, no?
Opo. So actually, yung iba pumupunta pa sa Pilipinas para matuto kung paano, how sophisticated our system is with POEA, overseeing deployment. So actually, we're being seen as a model country, a country of origin. Pero ibabalik ko doon sa tanong ng access to justice, yung sinasabi niyo pong dalawang kaso, yung sa Mindanao tapos sa Luzon. Minsan po kasi depende rin yan sa country of destination. For example, in Hong Kong, where you're allowed to join a union, pwede po kayong, meron kang freedom of association, to be around workers, tapos you have collecting bargaining agreement. So, ang project po ng ILO ngayon is we work very closely with a trade union here in the Philippines. So kahit na bumalik na sila sa Philippines, they can still file a case in Hong Kong. If, for example, it's an employment-related abuse, kung hindi sila binayaran, pwede pa rin nilang habulin kahit nandito na sila sa Philippines. Kasi yun yung isa sa mga rason kung bakit hindi sila nagpa-file ng case. Kasi, yun nga, nandito na sila sa Philippines, so wala silang access sa Hong Kong. So we work very closely with pro bono lawyers associations, both here and in Hong Kong. Yan ang problema sa Kuwait kasi or sa ibang sa Gulf states kasi hindi sila pinapayagan na mag-form ng union, no. So isa rin yun sa problema po kung yung papaano yung freedom of association para ma-empower yung ating mga
Okay,
workers.
thank you. Velez,
Connection lang dun sa mga kasi meron tayong tinatag na Maritime Labor Convention of 2006 and it's ILO initiative yan na yung lahat ng mga conventions and legal treatises, documents, recommendations ng ILO concerns sa sea-based international labor, inilagay nila sa isang malaking dokumento, yung Maritime Labor Convention. It concerns yung safety nila, yung food, habitation, yung kanilang accommodation, rest and sleep, ganyan. Yung minimum rest, maximum work. And ang Philippines, ironically, it became the last of the first 25. Kasi ang Maritime Labor Convention of 2006, ang requirement kasi niyan is 33% of the gross tonnage ng barko na may-ari in flag state ira-ratify plus member countries na 25 mag-ratify 25 or 22. Ang Philippines nandun siya sa last ng list na yon, namuntik pa siya malaglag because on the same day naglabas ni-ratify din ni Russia. Kaya nga makikita mo na medyo ironic na the Philippines proudly says that it is the biggest number of supplier of maritime labor pero muntik ka nang malaglag dun sa convention, yung top 25, yata 22, para mag-take effect siya, muntik na siya malaglag. I think 2012, ni-ratify ng Philippines yung convention na yun.
Nahuli, no?
Muntik, nahuli, nandun na siya sa ano. Kasi ang member countries kasi ng ILO na nag-signatories, 100 plus yata Tapos kailangan lang ng minimum number na I think 22 or 25 para mag-take effect siya. To take effect, a year after the deposit of the ratification document. Ang Philippines, I think, August 2011, 2012, after 6 years, 2012, dineposit niya yung ating ratification document. And kaya nga sabi namin, bakit ang tagal? It's supposed to be, dahil ikaw ang sending country, manguna ka na i-ratify yan.
Hindi na priority ng mga senador. Relax ka lang.
Ewan ko, yun.
Ayun yun.
Just quickly, kasi hindi rin naman po tinitingnan yun ng ILO as a negative perception of the Philippines dahil huli siya nag-ratify. The fact na ni-ratify niya, it's already a good sign. Iniisip rin naman ng mga constituents namin na kaya siguro natagalan mag-ratify because pinag-usapan yung convention. Pero of course, meron pa rin ganung perception na medyo na-delay siya.
Okay. Huli man daw at magaling na traffic lang. Okay.
Follow up ulit kay Atty. Ruaro.
Sige, marami pa magtatanong kapatid.
Sir, last question lang to. Kasi nung nakaraan, nagpalabas ng suspension noon si Secretary Bello regarding the fake OEC, di ba? Yung Overseas Employment Certificate. As a licensing, kayo ho ang kasi ang may hawak ng licensing sa recruitment violation. Naniniwala ho ba kayo na yung tinatawag na online OEC ninyo ay hindi napipikiyan? Kasi nandiyan kasi ang pinakamaraming problema sa land base natin Kasi yung OEC, saan binabasihan ng immigration, bakit ino-upload ang mga worker sa airport? Kaya nagkakaroon tayo dyan ng mga human trafficking, yung braso system sa loob ng airport na kakunay bansang immigration. Kasi ang gusto ko lang iparating sa inyo to, no? Kasi like for example, hindi ka parehas yung sa seafarer na pag sinabi ordinary seaman ka, ang nakalagay sa OEC. Sa land base, pag sinabing domestic helper ka, lalo na kung wala kang tinatawag na unified contract, so hindi ka pwedeng i-process. Kaya ang ginagawa naman ng mga recruitment agency, pinapalitan ng posisyon, instead na domestic helper, gagawin nilang beautician. Kasi yun ang may visa. Pero pagdating sa airport, pag na-evaluate na doon ang workers, ino-upload ng immigration kasi hindi nagtutugma ang nakasulat sa OEC at saka sa kanyang kontrata or else doon sa kanyang passport sa visa. Kung aware ho si Secretary Bilyo doon.
Salamat po sir sa tanong niyo. Yung tinatawag ho doon, yung halimbawa domestic worker pa, kaya lang sinabi doon cleaner sa visa. May conflict yung visa saka yung OEC. So ang ginagawa naman ho ng immigration, reprocessing ang tawag doon, parang contract substitution din ng principle doon. So, sabihin para mapabilis na lang minsan yung yung pag-deploy ng domestic worker natin, kasi baka mas mabilis yung mas konting requirements ng cleaner o nilalagay nila cleaner or other job categories. Yun ang nakikita kong dahilan doon. Tapos, yun namang sinasabi ni sir na fake OEC. Yung fake OEC ho kasi, hindi doon nanggagaling sa POEA yun kasi ipaprocess lahat ng dokumento mo, magbabayad ka ng OWA membership mo bago ka ma-issuean ng OEC. Saka dito, nakapaloob na yun sa passport. Pag-scan ng immigration yung passport mo, dapat nandyan yung OEC mo, yung Overseas Employment Certificate. Hindi pwedeng mawala
Separate yan. Hindi pwede
So,
separate.
hindi pwedeng fake ho yun. Ang nangyayari lang fake ho yan, pagka yung illegal, yung recruitment agency or sino man, gustong mag-human trafficking, pepekehin nila yung OEC, paggawa sila siguro dyan sa recto, with the connivance na siguro sino ba nagpapaalis doon? Saan dadaan ho yun? Immigration. Kung nakaalis yun, either...
It takes two to tangle.
Hindi ko naman sinasabi, wala akong sinasabing ganyan. Kaya lang ho, baka malikmata ba yan o may connivance, I don't know
Sir,
po. Diba? I don't want to...
Okay.
I don't want to propound accusations, pero
Of course.
bakit nakadaan po yun?
Opo, tama po yan. Okay?
Kasi
With
yun
due
lang,
respect to the other agencies po.
Kapatid,
Okay,
iba naman. Mamaya naman, Sige, thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Randy Rolanda. I'm a magazine editor. My question, what I'm going to say is about the seaman's lifestyle. I did the research on the lifestyle of the Filipino sailor. And the first thing they do when they reach a port is look for women, prostitutes. And in my research also, their favorite place to go is when they hit Brazil, they look for those big women, those prostitutes. And the women there also likes Filipino, small brown guys, which have bolitas. That's been recorded ever since in 1521 by Pigafetta. But my question is, they practice unsafe sex. They don't use condoms. Alam mo na mga Pilipino, hindi raw masarap. So they contribute in the proliferation of HIV. I've read a lot, secretly or publicly, that many wives and girlfriends of Filipino seamen have contracted HIV because of this
Promiscuity.
Don't you think that the MARINA should partner with DOH and have the seamen going home to have an ELISA or ELSA test to find out whether they're positive or negative of HIV?
But will it not violate human rights?
Well, the pleasure was done outside.
Yes.
Meron sila palabas. Alam ko meron, di ba? Pero hindi lahat kasi parang okay kumuha eh. Pero in reality, totoo sinasabi sir, one of the biggest number ng HIV care sa Philippines nasa sea-based. And in reality nga, we handled ilan eh. May hinandle kaming ilan, tas HIV ganyan. And specifically, sa kontrata kasi ng POEA contract, nakasulat doon na if you have HIV, excluded agad yan sa compensable illnesses. Ang naging problem lang nga kasi minsan, hindi sila the usual pa rin natin na kapag may sakit, hindi nila sasabihin. Until may mangyari sa'yo, mamatay kang ganyan. Tapos, yung hinandle kasi namin, sabi ko nga doon sa asawa, alam mo, the best evidence na sabihin kong walang HIV ang asawa, ikaw. Problema siya mismo, ayaw rin niya magpa-test. So sabi, namatay na rin yung asawa. So yung kaso namin natalo kasi in reality, kahit nasasabi ng HIV ay sexually transmitted, there are also other instances na pwedeng matransmit yan. Blood transfusion. Under the contract kasi, yung illness na makukuha mo, kailangan during the contract. But HIV, matagal yan. Paano halimbawa, nag-blood transfusion ka 5 years ago, tapos lumabas this year yung HIV mo. So yan, hindi na siya makakuha ng compensation because under present legal paradigm ng compensation ng mga seafarers, kailangan during the effective contract makita ang sakit mo. So yung mga HIV, AIDS cases na yan, prevalent siya talaga. Kaya nga alam ko, merong information campaign ang DOH and yung mga government agencies in enlightening mga seafarers na maging maging maingat. Kasi nga hindi lang ikaw ang magiging problema niya, but yung family mo, mahawaan mo yung asawa mo. And minsan nga kasi merong move, I think Amosoup, na i-hire mo pa rin ng isang HIV positive na tao. Kasi nga, when you hire someone, dapat ang sakit niyan ay yung pwedeng yung makaka-apekto sa trabaho. Merong isang grupo kasi nagkakampanya sila na wag maging discriminatory factor ang HIV. Kaya lang in reality kasi, the final say pa rin kasi is nandoon sa principal if we will hire you or not. Kung ikaw HIV pa. Pag bumalik ka at may HIV ka, yan, debatable din yan. Kasi ano bang rason ng pagpapawi? Dahil na-detect kang HIV. Actually, hindi nga lang HIV din eh. Hepa B. Hepa B, kapag nagka-Hepa B ka, denied din nila, tapos sabi nila daw sexual transmitted ang Hepa B. But Hepa B can also be due to liquid, yung mga tubig. Body fluids. Or yung, kunyari, uminom ka, na yung nagamit mo, yung ginamit ng isa na may napatakan lang ng isang Hepa B, pwede ka magkaroon ng ganyan. Kaya lang kasi, yung prevailing jurisprudence kasi ngayon, if you have Hepa B, naka-equate agad sexually transmitted. And dyan medyo mahirap yung Hepa B, tas nagkaroon ng liver problem, namatay. So, connected agad sila. Hindi kita bibigyan ng compensation because promiscuous ka. So, parang nagkaroon ng equation agad na gano'n na although, pwede rin may ibang rason.
Okay.
Problem with HIV is takes more about 5 years to manifest.
Yun ang isang
itself.
problema.
So
Tama
you
yun,
don't
Randy.
know that you're a carrier.
Iya sir, kaya nga yan na naging problem nung yung HIV ay lumitaw during your last contract. Sasabihin nila, hindi yan work connected. Pangalawa, sigurado ko bang nakuha mo yan during your contract? Pwedeng sa iba yan. Kaya nga yung mga namamatay ng HIV or namamatay ng Hepa B, yun ang medyo problema namin. Yung category agad nila, sexually transmitted yan. Pero yun nga, nakasulat kasi sa POEA contract, yung 2010 version, talaga nakasulat nun, HIV or STD illnesses not compensable.
Okay. Ano pong masasabi rito ng POEA at ng MARINA?
Regarding ho dyan sa mga health reasons, I think partly it's personal on the part of our seafarers. Siguro we have to inculcate on them to be more, to take healthy safety measures pagdating sa bagay na yan in coordination with our Department of Health. But lately, kaya lang, hindi naman applicable na siya yung meron kaming memorandum of understanding with the DFA for the medical repatriation. Pero yun, nakakauwi naman siguro, pero dito na nagkakasakit.
That's another issue. Siguro kailangan ng research ng ILO dyan.
At I think it's more, alam niyo naman, realities. Nalulungkot ka, you go to different countries. Pagdaong mo doon, you want some R&R. But I think it's a personal thing that our seafarers naman, practice more healthy measures.
It's a very valid issue.
So
Even American sailors do that.
we keep
Kaya nga may napatay na isang kwan.
if they cannot if they want arena, maybe they take healthy more healthy
Okay.
measures. Kagaya ng sinasabi ng ayaw mag-condom.
Pero
Yung sinasabi kanina eh.
Pero you're not even sure of the condom.
Opo,
Sabi nila,
opo,
lalo
opo.
na kung nabulkanize yung condom.
Sige po, opo.
Okay, yes please.
Tama po sinabi ni attorney saka ni sir na is a healthness awareness ng seafarer. Kasi marami kaming cases na talagang pag nakasampa ka ng barko, lalo na yung bago pa, talagang marulungkot ka. Mahirap nung nasa barko ka, wala namang tumutulong sa iyong kamag-anak doon, nag-iisa ka. So, sa akin po, siguro more on health measure na campaign ng DOH
Okay.
na matulungan yung mga seafarers natin. Pero sa ngayon, sir, alam ko strict yung manning agency. Ni-require sa ng medical certificate to have a check-up. Pati na yung blood pressure nila, yung lahat ng ibang...
Hindi, pero yung pag-uwi dito,
Yun ang problema, sir. Yun ang
don't you think it's a high time for Marina and POEA and OWA to work together to come up with a program to assure that even the wives in the Philippines will not be afflicted dahil kung mayroong problema yan, i-quarantine na muna natin yan.
Pero, sorry.
Yeah.
Again, just like labor migration, HIV/AIDS is another complex issue. No? For the UN, the way the United Nations approaches this, we don't just see it as a health issue. We see it as a social issue. We see it as an economic issue, a cultural issue because of the stigma that is attached to HIV. So again, hindi natin siya pwedeng isipin na with DOH's guidance, masosolve na natin yung problema. It goes beyond that. So I think this may call for another discussion.
Yeah. Okay. Department of Health, kukunin natin. Pag natapos na nila yung Dengvaxia. Okay. We have time for one or two more questions. Yes? Okay. What's the question, please?
Good morning. My name is Keith Duncan. I'm actually a world-class broadcaster. There's a root problem that no one is addressing around the world. The number one root problem of every single problem we talk about today, and it's talk, is political corruption. Now, the question is, what is the Philippine government doing to finally get rid of political corruption? When you do that, will that not attract millions of foreigners who want to come live here? So
Mr.
that's the
Duncan,
question.
I'm sorry. We will have to reserve that for political scientists next time, okay?
Well, it relates to all the
no, but the
overseas
question
workers.
is we're limited to overseas Filipino workers
Correct.
and the issues.
I have a Philippine wife who's an overseas worker.
Yes, but
Yeah.
anyway, that's the concern we have today. So we
Yes.
will have another edition for your concern.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Susan Amoroso of Travel Bees and Shipping and Travel Journal. My question is, there has been a statement from the Joint Manning Group last year that employment of seafarers have gone down remarkably. And they said that one of the reason is the very litigious component among the seafarers, local seafarers, to the detriment of the manning agency and the vessel owners. That's the first. Second, is the recent CBA of Amosop increasing the services fees of the seafarers up an increase of 7% affected the decline of the industry? And has China really overtaken the Philippines as the biggest exporter of seafarers?
Okay, thank you very much. Niratrat mo na. Sige. Takers. First question, yung...
Litigious. Litigious.
Actually, yun yung tinatawag na ghost hunting eh. Bakit lagi lang sinasabi ang mga Filipino seafarers mahilig magsampa ng kaso? In reality kasi, kung titingnan mo, yung component naman nagsasampa ng kaso na yan, maliit lang yan. Bakit? Ilan ang lumalabas? Ilan ang na-aksidente? Ilan ang namamatay? Marami dyan hindi nagsasampa ng kaso because una, takot magsampa ng kaso. And second, hindi nila alam how to enforce their rights. Yung sinasabi kasi na mahilig magsampa ng kaso because they're just enforcing rights. The POEA contract was drafted in the manner na madidinay yung claim nila. Namatay sa loob ng kabina, inatake ng puso, denied. Bakit sasabihin denied? Because sasabihin nila, hindi yan na-qualify yung mga requirements under the contract na dapat within 24 hours before atakihin sa puso, kailangan na document na atakihin ka. Ataking sa puso yan, biglaan eh. Ang dami naming kaso, namatay sa loob ng kabina, ayaw bayaran. Kumaga, the reason bakit nagsasampa ng mga kaso ang mga seafarers, kasi nadideny yung kanilang claims. Before the 2000 contract was drafted, the only requirement para makapag-claim yung mga yan, babayaran yan, ay nangyari during the contract. When they inserted the work-connected provision after the 2000 contract, dyan, nag-escalate yung mga case because hindi binabayaran eh. Bakit hindi babayaran? Dahil yung lista, yung sakit niya ay wala dun sa 1 to 24 na so-called occupational illnesses. Atake sa puso, hindi porke inatake ka, babayaran ka. Stroke, hindi yan automatic, babayaran ka. Aneurysm, hindi yan babayaran. Yung mga incidents na ganyan ay nagpo-prompt para mag-trigger ng compensation cases. Kasi if you look into the recent decisions din, natatalo din ng mga seafarers because maraming laman ng kontrata na parang lumalabas meant to deny the seafarers in their claims. So anong course mo? To go to court. Kasi una, hindi ka papakinggan eh. Balik lang natin, bakit sila kasi hindi na-explain sa kanila, ito ang rules of the game. If you look into the contract ng POEA, masyadong maliit ng pagkakasulat niyan. I go around, I give lectures, tatanong ko sa kanila, 50 na seafarers, nabasa yung kontrata nyo, maswerte lang isang kamay makita kung may ano. And that is the main reason kung bakit natutuloy sa kasuhan. Kasi in the first place, they don't have any idea na nava-violate na yung rights nila. So, ang ano dyan is, lagi lang binabato, masyadong mahilig magdemanda mga Filipino seafarers. Ilan ng Filipino seafarers? Ilan ng nakapending? Ilan lang yan.
Okay. Don't you think it's about time that maritime schools should also discuss the provisions of the contract?
Actually, I go around kasi, I give lectures, na doon pa lang, kaya lagi kong sinasabi, at your early age, dapat ma-inform na kayo on yung rights and obligations. Kasi ang POEA contract, kasi hindi lang naman isang partido yan eh. Ano yan? Bilateral, meaning meron kang obligation, may obligation si company. Meron kang rights, may rights si company. So, yung kontrata na yan was drafted para both parties merong protection in terms of their rights and obligation. Ang naging problema lang kasi na most of the seafarers natin, ilang years nang sumasakay ng barko yan, pero hindi nila binabasa yung kontrata nila. And dyan nagkakaroon ng ano, kasi nga, for example, yun nga, yung documentation ng illnesses nila on board the vessel. Hindi nila alam na dapat sila ay nagsasabi na may problema na sila. Kasi walang nagbibigay ng instruction na kapag ikaw ay nagkaroon ng may naramdaman ka, hindi ka makahinga, hindi ka nahihilo ka, dapat pinapadocument. And that triggers yung mga compensation cases.
Okay, thank you. Naka-overtake na ba ang China sa Pilipinas, sa seafarers?
I understand there is also because of the population of China, you know. But we are still very competitive. Yung sa litigious spirit of our seafarers. Yung nga, may sinasabi pa nga si Sir na minsan they are hesitant to file complaints because of the threat of blackmail on the part of the government. If they have unsettled claims, they can go to NLRC. If there are violations regarding recruitment or deployment, they can go to POEA. So those are the mechanism for their welfare protections are recognized.
Okay, thank you. From MARINA, do you have any figures about seafarers worldwide?
As of this date, sir, we're almost 700,000.
Almost 700,000. Have you noticed any increase over the past few years?
Declining.
700,000 seafarers. Ilan ang may trabaho?
Most of these, sir, have been deployed both local and internationally na fishing vessel natin. Ship po.
Okay. Anyway, we can go into details siguro sa susunod na discussions natin.
Yung kasi yung tanong mo kasi how many are documented? Ang lagi namin biniview kasi diyan, the POEA statistics is not really reflective kung gaano kadami ang seafarers kasi it counts by the contract, not by the heads. Kung ilan ang lumabas kasi may mga seafarers natin na lumalabas 2 beses sa isang taon. Dahil ang kontrata na maliliit lang yan eh. 3 months, 4 months. Merong iba 3 beses lumalabas. So, yung contract, yung tabulation ng POA is hindi siya ganun ka-reflective kung gaano ka talaga kalakas ang force ng seafarers.
Okay.
Tapos, nandyan din yung mga undocumented natin na marami rin yun.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, sir. I'm Willard Cheng from ABS-CBN. To Attorney Ruaro, habang may deployment ban po sa Kuwait, ano po ang plano ng POEA para matulungan ng mga OFWs na makahanap din ng trabaho? And to Mr. Macarambon, sang-ayon po ba kayo na sa naging move ng administrasyon na i-ban muna ang deployment sa Kuwait? If you can also give your comment to that. Thank you.
The spirit and intent of the suspension temporarily of the deployment of our workers for Kuwait was due to the recent deaths of our overseas workers in Kuwait. 7 recently, another one has evidence of si Santiago, January 25, then recently, yung kababayan natin, may si rest in peace, Joanna Velez, who was stopped in the prison for 1 year. So, minabuti ng ating Secretary of Labor na paimbestigahan muna kung may kinalaman yung mga employers sa mga maltreatment, abuses, because kawawa na naman ng ating mga kababayan. Sinasabing an injury inflicted upon our workers is an injury inflicted upon our country.
So what can we do to help?
Non-recognition of their rights, of their welfare, is an affront to our country. So, while pending investigation po, sinususpend muna yung pag-issue ng mga overseas employment certificate.
Sapagkat nasa isang tanggapan kayo sa POEA na may kinalaman sa licensing at adjudication, do you have any information as to the agencies of these workers who were abused in Kuwait?
Yeah. Yung Lady of Mount Carmel ba yun? Yung kay Juan. Pero...
Kay Di Mapilis.
Kay Di Mapilis. Kaya lang, canceled na pala to nung 2016 din po. Because of violations.
So...
Canceled na yung license niya.
Canceled na yung license.
Oo, noong 2016.
So, as a lawyer that you are, pwede pa bang habulin yung incorporators ng agency?
Yes. In fact, they are already blacklisted. In fact, yung escrow deposit nila 1 million, if there are damages, we can go against them.
Go after
Kaya
them.
nire-require natin na may 1 million escrow deposit for damages. Kung ano man ang maging decision dyan, for the family, for...
Ko lang kasi under the migrant law kasi, the board of directors are jointly and solidarily liable with the company. So kapag sinampahan mo ng kasong kumpanya, dapat implead mo na rin yung board of directors because they are allowed under the law to be part of the suit.
It goes with the cancellation po, yung blacklisting nila, so they can no longer participate in the recruitment and deployment of our workers.
Devil's advocate. What if I am a member of the board of this Carmel and we formed another company, but I'm also a member of the board?
Recorded pa yun. You cannot be a member of the board of a new company because you have a derogatory record.
Okay. You're sure of that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
So before you apply for a new license, we request a certification from our office also na wala kang derogatory.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Mr. Macarambon, please.
Just a quick answer. No, my views really are irrelevant on the ban, but we work very closely with the Philippine government, but also with government in the destination country. For example, in one of the Gulf states, I would not want to mention the name of that country, but there were cases filed in the construction sector dahil may mga violations. No? So what the ILO did was work very closely with that government and made sure that mechanisms are in place to protect migrant workers' rights. And so we're hoping that things could be similar to Kuwait. No? Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any follow-up?
Sir, yung tanong lang kanina na, ano po ang assistance na may bibigay nyo doon sa mga affected nung ban? Makakahanap ba sila ng trabaho?
Yes, especially those already members of POEA. We are always providing livelihood assistance. Tapos, I understand there are several jobs available here in our country, like in the construction, narinig ko kanina si Senator Villar, in their company, they have 18,000 requirements for jobs. So on and so forth.
Okay, thank you.
And in relation to that also, with the build direction of our government, we have hopes that the generation of jobs will also be triggered, mag-jumpstart ng development so that we no longer have to go abroad for better or greener pasture,
Okay.
so to speak.
Thank you.
Sir Pat Santos, Sir Tribune. Sir, ang tanong ko, sir, ganito dapat, sir, ma-identify natin kung ano yung high risk na position. I'm talking about yung domestic job na vulnerable yung mga bebot natin sa sa harassment, sexual, mga ganon. Don't you see yung mga ganong area katulad ng Kuwait, napakalulupit ng mga employer, na iban lang yung yung domestic, yung mga professional, mga like those in the hospitals or don't you see pwedeng i-reconsider para naman hindi sweeping yung ban?
Maraming salamat po. Yun naman total suspension in the issuance of POEAs. Temporary ho yun while pending investigation po. Pero I agree with you, yung mga vulnerable sector, kagaya natin mga house service workers. And pasensya na po kayo, I would like to defer kasi ngayon pinag-uusapan ngayon yan on
Very hot yung
on that concern. I think as I speak, there is now an ongoing deliberation, discussion, whether yung house service lang ang suspend muna and skilled workers, are they vulnerable or not? So, with your kind indulgence, I would not like to preempt the decision of my higher authorities.
Okay.
Pasensya na po kayo. Salamat po. Salamat
Yes, sir. Okay. Pero akin lang inopen ko lang. For you to...
I agree with you, sir. I agree with you.
Pwedeng gabing,
yes.
Identify natin naman mga bansa na malulupit
Opo.
Yung domestic, talagang nasa bahay yan talagang...
Yes. They're vulnerable. Kawawa po sila.
Very high
Madali
risk
silang
talaga.
ma-expose for maltreatment, abuses, sexual abuse.
Parang animal gang trato.
Opo. Yun, may mga sinasabi yung kapala system ng ng Middle East.
Tinitiis nila, mga professional.
Hindi ka pwede mag-transfer sa employer mo unless there's a consent of your present employer.
Oo.
So that's why we are pressing on the signing or to enter into a bilateral agreement with countries na marami tayong vulnerable workers po.
Okay.
Sa ILO po sir, sa ILO, kayo po ba meron po kayong kapangyarihan to, screen po yung mga ganyang yung mga ganyang country na very mataas ang bilang ng mga pagmamalupit sa mga domestics, yung mga migrant, Meron po kayong ganyang...
I don't understand the question.
Would ILO be in a position to look into the plight of these workers,
mga migrants.
not necessarily monitor, but be aware of reports?
Opo. Yung structure po kasi ng ILO, we have a tripartite system. So we have the member states represented by the government, but we also work very closely with the employers and the workers. So pag may mga complaints po, gaya na sinabi kong example kanina, yung complaint nang galing sa trade unions, sa workers. So we put equal emphasis on these complaints. So we talk to the three partners, the government, the employers, and the workers, and at least find an agreeable solution to a problem.
Hussein, let me ask you, what if, well, in such countries like Kuwait, wala namang union sa Kuwait. So, sino kausap niyo?
So pag ganun po yung setup, kung walang union, then we work closely with the private sector and the government. So we try to maximize whatever it is kasi hindi naman po namin pwedeng i-require yung Kuwaiti government to allow kasi ganun yung sistema sa kanila. So kung ano yung prevailing laws ng bansa, may sovereignty pa rin sila.
Okay, thank you.
Connection lang sa question na yun. Ay, sa tanong kasi yung distinctions between yung lower bracket ng mga migrants and yung mga upper. Ganyan din nangyari kasi sa mga sea-based eh. Kapag lower ka, kayo ang pinaka-prone for abuses, lalo na yung mga illegal dismissal case kasi hindi ka makareklamo. But if you're yung official rating na ganyan, yan yung mga lumalaban na bakit mo ako pinapauwi. Kaya maraming silent majority tuloy ang mga seafarers natin na the abuses, hindi sila nagreklamo kasi nga takot sa blacklisting. Lalo na yung mga sa lower kasi nga yung the law of supply and demand, ang dami-dami yung ratings. Pag nagreklamo ka, yung possibility na i-rehire ka, lumalabo.
Yes, please.
Good morning, Boots Cantoso, OFW Family Club. To D.A. Ruaro and Mr. Sun. Sir, I have an old copy of Tinig ng Marino. I would like to follow up the case of Engineer Renerio Villas. You filed a case against CF Sharp Crew Management before NCMB-NCR. He was awarded 12.5 million pesos or $275,000 na putulan ng dulo ka ng daliri. Ang resulta, sabi nito sa Tinig ng Marino, 250 Filipino seafarers were removed from the jobs in more than 20 vessels by the employer, general or carrier corporation because of this unconscionable award. 12.5 million sa dami ng daliri. $275,000. Isang tao lang yun, ha?
Alam ko kasi yan, pending pa yan. I think na ano yan, naku-confirm pa na ng Court of Appeals. Na-affirm yung decision because the decision was based on the collective bargaining agreement. Kumbaga, I think even the doctor nag-agree dun sa findings na yon. So, ang naging problema dyan kasi nga, lagi na pinapanakot na when you enforce your right based on the contract, papanakot nila, ito mawawala sa kumpanya. And that becomes the reason kung bakit maraming mga seafarers hindi nagrereklamo. Kasi sinasabi nila, sige magreklamo ka, maraming matatanggalan ng trabaho. Ang problema naman kasi dyan is, it's your life eh. Bakit ako matatakot na magsasampa ng kaso dahil mawawalan din yung iba? Lagi lang ginanyan, yung ganyang panakot na huwag kang magsampa kasi nga delikado yung employment ng iba. And in the first place, tutulungan ka ba nung marami na yan pag ikaw ay namatay? It's your life at stake. So ilaban mo 'yan. And ang reality nga kasi the most of the companies in this pwede ka nilang kasi ang dami nakapila diyan eh. So
and may perhaps it's a money claim ang nag-award ho yan NLRC National
NCMB because may collective bargaining agreement.
Yes, sir. So then, kung natalo siya, they can go to the Court of Appeals for certiorari. Kaya siguro nakapending ngayon sa Court of Appeals.
Ang alam ko kasi is na-affirm.
POEA po, hindi POEA.
Ano pa lang kasi yan, NCMB status pa lang yan. Yung sa Court of Appeals, alam ko na-affirm pa rin yung decision na yan. So, when you go to litigation kasi, may level yan eh. NLRC, NCMB, Court of Appeals, Supreme Court. So hanggat hindi yan umaabot sa Supreme Court, pwedeng ma-reverse ang decision. Kapag umabot ng Supreme Court yan na. Ang nagiging problema lang kasi yung ganyang panakot nila laging ang nagiging at stake naman kasi yung personal flight nung seafarer na pag ikaw ay nagreklamo, tandaan mo, mas marami magdudusa. In the first place, ang lagi ko naman sinasabi, tutulungan ka ba ng mga yan kapag ikaw ay namatay? It's your personal decision
Okay.
ilaban mo yan.
All right.
Sir, if I may clarify, basta money claims, NLRC. Pagka violations on recruitment, deployment, against the manning agency doon po sa POEA.
Okay, maliwanag po
Malinaw
yun.
po, para malinaw.
Thank you. Wala na. Hindi naabot yung tanghalian. Dahil tanongin mo na lang mamaya. After, okay? Wala kaming pananghalian dito. Eh. Okay, di ba? Okay, last question for everyone. Let's say 5 years from now. You know, the president has always been quoted as saying the war on illegal drugs is premised on the fact that ayaw niyang mapahamak yung mga anak ng mga OFWs na nabibiktima ng mga droga at iba pa. Pero wala namang binabanggit yung presidente how to keep the workers employed gainfully in the Philippines. So, what do you think? You still see more Filipinos leaving the country for abroad for greener pastures because it's still a constitutional right to travel and seek better livelihood? Let's start with Attorney Gorecho.
Ang sea base kasi parang masyadong na-attract sa tubig ang mga mga Filipino. Nandyan yung ginto sa dagat. And unless you devise a way na i-pirmi mo itong Filipino, medyo siya, tataas pa rin. Although bumababa ang demand, pero yung attraction ng Filipino sa magtrabaho sa barko nandun pa rin kasi easy money yan eh. Paano ma-earn sa Philippines yung 100,000 a month unang sakay mo? Or yung mga isang taon na pagsakay mo, kumikita ka na ng 100,000 pag seafarer ka. So, unless they make a more feasible alternative to the seafarers, na magtatrabaho ka dito at earn kang ganyan, actually, bumabalik naman kasi talaga ang seafarers. Unlike ang land-based, hindi yan babalik unless satisfied na siya sa kanyang income. Ang sea-based, aalis, babalik. So yung question mo, kung mapipirma mo sila dito kasi ang sea-based hindi forever na labas yan. Every time bumaba yan, nandito yan. And pag hindi na yan na-rehire, mapipirma yan sa Pilipinas. Ang issue na lang kasi is on how they take care of their income for the limited time. And that is the question na hamon talaga sa government, sa mga stakeholders natin on how to say to the seafarers, hindi ka forever sasakay ng barko and paano pahalagahan yung pera na yan. And yun ang natin.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, alam naman natin na ang Pilipinas ay isang maraming isla. So hindi mawawala talaga sa tao na ang lahat ng mga goods natin, services, especially yung mga pagkain natin, tinatravel ng barko. So, I will say that the government should accept na Philippines is a maritime country. So, lahat po ng seafarer natin, tulad ng sinabi ni Sir, hindi po lahat ng mga seaman ay magbabarko. May kilala po ako, Sir, na nag-invest po siya ng pera. Naglagay siya ng mga apartment, ng mga negosyo. Yun po ang sana may ganoong training na magawa ng mga manning agency o kaya mga employers na hanggang ganito lang kayo. Kasi may age limit, sir, di ba? Kung hindi ka officer, kung maging 50 ka na, hindi ka natatanggapin kung hindi ka officer ng barko. Kaya I would say na sana matulungan ng gobyerno ang ating seafarer.
Okay, mula sa ILO.
Okay, so 5 years from now po, so hindi ito scientific. So para sa akin lang po, 5 years from now, dahil na-ratify na po ng Pilipinas ang Convention 189 on Domestic Workers, siguro po 5 years from now, empowered na rin yung ating mga domestic workers. Hindi na sila ganun ka-desperate to look for jobs na sila mismo yung magbabayad para makuha lang nila yung trabaho. Tapos yung essence ng isang decenteng trabaho, decent work, ito yung advokasya ng ILO, no, na meron silang freedom of association, meron silang freedom from discrimination, kung kahit ano man yung edad nila, kasi marami pa rin sa ating mga domestic workers, minsan over 40 or 50 na, tapos gusto pa rin magtrabaho abroad, sana hindi na sila na-discriminate. Yung gender equality, sana hindi na ganun ka-gendered yung iba-ibang sektor na lumalabas. And finally, yung social protection. Kailangan pa rin ng protection ng ating mga migrant workers when they leave the country.
Yeah, thank you very much from POEA.
Within 5 years, with the Our economy has been steadily growing. There's the build and build policy of our government. We are optimistic na sana ho magkaroon ng reduction of mga ating mga kababayan that are forced or compelled to go abroad, to work abroad. At yung gross national product naman natin has been steadily growing. Kanina sinabi ni Senator Villar, they have 17,000 in demand for workers. But meanwhile that our workers have to go abroad in their dream, in their desire to give a better future for their families, better food on their tables, decent housing, better education for their children. We in government should continue to work for their welfare and protection, especially yung mga nasa grounds natin, yung mga labor attaches natin sa polos, Philippine Overseas Labor Organizations, in coordination with our OMA, attention to national units of DFA, para ho naman to protect our workers, and we hope that our host countries shall hear, shall listen to our desires, that they guarantee, they recognize the rights of our workers. Opo.
Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Mga kaibigan, while it is true that $28 billion are continuously getting into the economy year on year, and it's been said that it plays an important role in consumer spending, while it is true that overseas workers are considered bagong bayani, there is also that culture that needs to be nipped in the bud, and that is the culture of dependency by the families here in the Philippines from the labor of our workers abroad. Why did I say so? During my trip to Italy, I learned of a 74-year-old woman who was still working as domestic helper to finance the studies ng kanyang mga apo sa pamangkin. So kahit kalabaw, may pahinga, yung pa kayang manggagawang Pilipino. With that, we bring to a close our edition on OFWs and Seafarers ngayong araw na ito sa ating Tapatan sa Aristocrat. Have a nice day. God bless us all.